Well, welcome everyone to today's health chat. The topic is healthy children, happy moms. And I don't know anyone who doesn't want their kids to be healthy. And as a result, if my kids are healthy, I'm going to be happy. I am your host, Gail Davis. I'm a mom of three, a coach, a wellness educator, and for the next 30 minutes, I will be sharing some tips to have a healthier family. As I check my screen here. Okay, great, perfect. So basically, my story began about 15 years ago. My kids were constantly living in the pediatrician's office. In fact, I was wondering if maybe I was helping his college fund, supporting his kids through college. I have a daughter, Lydia, Hannah, and Josiah, and basically earaches, sore throats, fatigue. Oh, mommy, I don't feel like doing school today, which was really tough because I homeschooled the kids. But I knew what it meant to have sick kids. And for the life of me, I could not figure out why they were sick because we weren't really exposed to everybody else in a school setting. And I thought I was feeding them well. And then I would bring them to different homeschool events, but they were always coming back sick. Well, there's challenges to our kids. And if you look around us, there's mercury contamination in the food chain. Then on top of it, baby care products can be a source of toxic exposure. And then pediatricians say kids need more vitamin D, and bisphenol A can build up in babies and in infants. So there's challenges all around. Even in organic care products, sometimes you find the bad guys, the carcinogen 1,4-dioxin. And there's too much junk food everywhere being put in our kids' hands. I heard recently a story of a holistic practitioner who had an open house at their center, and what ended up happening was at their center, they basically had a whole bunch of sweets and horrible candies being dispensed to everybody. So there's junk food every place we turn. Well, how is your children's health? Well, if we look around, there's so many overweight kids. The number of overweight children and teens has doubled. Then on top of it, type 2 diabetes, which was once an incident in older adults, is now quickly rising among kids. Add to that asthma. On the average, 1 out of 13 school-age children has asthma today. Couple that with our immune systems. Kids miss an average of 8 school days per year because of health issues. In fact, I think it's even more. Poor nutrition basically negatively impacts bone growth, overall physical development, and can really impact school performance. So how's your child's health? Well, sadly, if we were to have a report card, most kids are failing. So what are we putting in our kids? Well, French fries, the most common vegetable source for today. Yes, that's right. I said vegetable source. That's what a lot of parents think they're giving their kids. Candy. Well, any given day, 19 to 24-month-olds are feasting on candy and desserts and soft drinks everywhere. Hot dogs, cookies, rolls, all among the top 10 sources of food among infants and children. And junk food. Well, if you really add it up, 25% of the calories on a typical school day come from junk food. Well, what are we putting on our kids? Well, on our kids, a test was done of umbilical cord blood of 10 newborns and basically found that what is on a mom's body or in a body is absorbed into our kids. But add to that the bath soaps, the lotions, the personal care products, and so many of the ingredients are considered carcinogens. And then phthalates, which are fragrance can contain phthalates, which are known endocrine disruptors, which can irritate skin, but also potentially negatively impact respiratory, liver, and kidneys. And bisphenol A, which is often found in bottles and toys. Well, baby skin is 5 times thinner and more permeable than adult skin, which makes babies more susceptible to toxins. So what chemicals are we using around our children? Well, of the 81,000 chemicals registered with the EPA in the past 30 years, fewer than 20% have been tested for toxicity. So chlorine bleach is in every home, well, mostly every home, and is one of the frequent causes of childhood poisonings. And just the household cleaners and appliances are giving off fumes that are triggering asthma for our children. There's health risks every day, but please don't leave yet, because there is hope. What should we be doing? Well, we have many moms on today's call. We might have some grandmas on today's call. We should get educated. There's a booklet that I would like to email to everybody on today's call. So whoever invited you, or if I was the person who invited you, please contact the person, because there is a free gift to you today, Super Wellness for Super Kids, a parent's guide, and it really helps you get educated as to what are we to do. The other thing too is to go to credible websites like the American Academy of Pediatrics, to read labels and watch for the high fructose corn syrup and the trans fats and the hydrogenated oils. And if you're not sure how to read labels, again, go to the person who invited you on today's call. But most of all, take action. Eat well. Make sure your kids eat well. Fruits, vegetables, whole grains, lean proteins, they should be part of your children's diet. Supplement wisely. Banish soft drinks and junk food, and get active, and most of all, use non-toxic, safe household cleaning products. So what I've done is I've asked a mom, her name is Gretchen Peloton, to join us in a moment. And Gretchen, she was on a quest a few years ago. And my question to everybody is, who can you trust? Where do you turn? And I've asked Gretchen to share her story. Gretchen, are you there?
I'm here, Gail.
I can hear you. Excellent. So Gretchen, tell us your story. Who can we trust? Where did you go?
Sure. Well, I went to you, actually. Gail and I met when my older daughter, who's now 13, was just 3 years old. And the exposure of lead in toys, Thomas the Train, and lots of other things had just hit the news. And I was really just kind of learning about all this stuff as a parent and doing a lot of research on my own and didn't know where to turn. Well, Gail introduced me to some great cleaning products with Shaklee that are pure, and they worked, and I was using them to clean my house. And I decided to take a look at the business and to evaluate the vitamins. As I was doing this, I was really educating myself on the kind of things Gail is talking about, what we want to consume and don't want to consume. And I thought I'd gotten a pretty good education on what to look for in a supplement. So as I was back and forth looking at different companies, I went to Mrs. Green's to buy my daughter a multivitamin. But I probably stood in that aisle for about 30 minutes, and I read every single label. And I thought I knew what I was looking for. I was looking for something organic. I was looking for something with the right kind of sweeteners and lots of vitamin D. I wanted something food source. I had a whole list. No additives or coloring and those kind of things. Everything natural and healthy. So I finally decided on a vitamin which hit all of those criteria. And I brought it home. I was giving it to my daughter. And a couple of months later, I decided to jump into the Shaklee business. And of course, I knew she was going to take the Shaklee multivitamin. But I thought, even at this point, that the Shaklee difference, the purity, which Gail's going to tell you about in a minute, was not something that was unique only to Shaklee. I thought, here's this organic vitamin. Let's just finish the bottle. I bought it. Why not? And I was at Gail's house one day, and she asked me, did you ever see the study that the USDA did on lead in women's and children's vitamins? And I think I went like white as a ghost. I said, no, let me see that. And she showed me this long list of vitamins and the amount of lead that they had in them, according to these tests. And indeed, the multivitamin for children that I bought, which was organic and all those other wonderful things, had very high levels of lead in it, higher than Flintstones vitamins or other store-brand vitamins. And it was a real moment of awakening to me that no matter how educated we are, we have to know the companies that we're buying from too, and not necessarily believe everything that we see on a label. And so that was the moment where I knew everybody in my family, when taking a supplement, would take only Shaklee supplements because I can trust the purity of them.
Wow. And I remember that day. You didn't exactly turn as white as a sheet, but I remember that day. So thank you so much, Gretchen. So basically, as Gretchen was saying, what are you to do? Where do you turn? Well, I turned to Shaklee 15 years ago. My kids, I was sick and tired of them being sick and tired. And I turned to Shaklee because what really impressed me was something called the Shaklee difference. Purity, potency, performance, guaranteed, obsessive compulsive, 350 tests on every new botanical ingredient, published scientific papers, scientific presentations, a track record of over 60 years. It was impeccable. And I said, okay, I can trust this company. Well, since I could trust this company, I started to use the products. But you're probably wondering, okay, great, but what do I do with my kids? Where do I go? And we only have 30 minutes to do this in. So I promise you that I'm going to give you 3 simple steps. But again, talk to the person that invited you because I know that you're going to have additional questions. Well, 3 simple steps for healthier living for our kids. We talked about what goes in, what goes on, and what's all around. So think of the first step is what goes in your children. And may I recommend start with the healthy eating habits. Get healthy, nutrients in our kids' diet. But let's face it, not every kid eats the way they should. My children didn't, even though I thought they were. There were gaps. So Shaklee has a great nutritional program starting with Incredivites, a multivitamin, Mighty Smarts, which is ultra pure DHA. They're super smart, they're super safe, they're super nutritious. So the Incredivites, basically kids with poor, inadequate nutrients perform poorly in school. Poor nutrition negatively impacts our child's immune system, our bone growth, and overall physical development. And our immune systems are being attacked. So wouldn't it make sense to start with a chewable multivitamin with an immune support power? Complete with 23 essential nutrients, with vitamin power, vitamin E and C, and so many other great vitamins, and the vitamin D we need for strong bones and teeth. And add to it, it's sweetened with xylitol, not with sugar, and not with, we weren't going to mention those fake sugars out there, which could be hazardous to our health. And it's gluten-free. In fact, I saw a study today out there on the web that maybe some of the stuff that's in some of those other vitamins that we aren't going to mention their names might be contributing towards the autism and the ADDs and the other issues that are affecting our kids today. And then Mighty Smart. DHA is an essential omega-3 fatty acid that helps brain and eye development. There's so many studies that say our kids need it, but I don't know how many kids love sardines and tuna and liver. But also, eating large amounts of fish can lead to unhealthy exposures to mercury and other environmental toxins. Well, food for thought. I just went out shopping the other day and I was just so proud. I got some fish, some frozen fish to bring in to cook for my husband and I. And oh, I know the difference between farm fish and deep sea wild catch. And I know that the wild catch is safer with less lead and mercury and contaminants. And I bring it home and on the label it says packaged in China. I was appalled. If anybody knows anything about China, I wouldn't trust my food to China. But with Shaklee supplements, knowing that they're tested for pesticides and contaminants and E. coli, and 356 different tests are done, I know that what is in the bottle, what is in the package, is really there. I know what's on the label is in the package. I know what's not on the label is not in the package. You're not going to be finding, as Gretchen was sharing, lead and other contaminants. And then Mighty Smart. It's certified organic, it's ultra natural, pure, and it's gluten-free. So basically, great place to get started, but kids also need protein. And Shaklee has 3 different types of protein, whether it be energizing soy protein, Life Plans 180s, or meal shakes. Well, my kids loved the meal shakes. There was a Bavarian chocolate that I would make up rather thick with ice cubes in a blender, and it tasted like a shake. And I knew that my kids were getting what they needed to help their bone, their mind, their brain, their eyes, and to help them with their growth. In fact, there's a fun recipe, a peanut butter fudge with 1 cup of peanut butter, 1 cup of our soy protein, and a 1/3 cup of honey, and it is delicious. And then also what goes in the body. I can't encourage enough clean water. The water we drink, I don't even want to go there, the contaminants that could be in it. But so oftentimes we choose the easy way out of getting bottled water. Well, if you add it up, you're spending hundreds, if not thousands of dollars a year. Well, we have a Get Clean water filtration system, a pitcher that gets out the lead, gets out the benzene and all the bad guys, and the mercury and the cadmium and the copper, and it works out to be about 7 cents per day for a family of 4. Well, what do you put on your kids? Well, Shaklee also has a soothing lotion and a gentle wash and a massage oil for the babies. Always safe, always gentle, always healthy, without the parabens, without the formaldehydes, without the different chemicals, and it's safe. Makes a great, great gift for a mom to be. So clinically tested, no parabens, no 1,4-dioxin, no sodium lauryl sulfate, no phthalates, pediatrician tested, hypoallergenic, pH balanced, no synthetic fragrances, no artificial colors, and even the packaging is free of bisphenol A and toxic inks. And lastly, we talked about what goes in, what goes on, and what's all around. This is my favorite. I used to clean the house at Christmas time. Yes, I would clean other times too. And the kids, I would say to them, oh, mommy's using chemicals, get out of my way. Or mommy's cleaning the bathroom, get yourself out of the house. And at Christmas time especially, I cleaned because my in-laws were coming to visit. And what would happen was they would come to visit. I lived in New York at the time. They would stay for a few days and we would all get sick. And I couldn't figure out why we were all sick. Well, then I did my research. Then I did my due diligence, and I discovered that the cleaning products that are in the supermarket can cause disruptions in our immune systems. They can cause allergies and asthma and air issues. The list goes on. That's a whole other presentation. Well, I recommend for anyone that cares about their family's health, start using these safe products around your kids. Don't let your kids breathe in the toxic chemicals. Well, we got sick every Christmas. My in-laws, I would joke, I would say I'm allergic to my mother-in-law. Then we switched over to these green, safe products. We no longer got sick. Then I could say to my kids, hey, help mommy clean the house. And sure enough, they were able to do so. So where do we begin? Again, what goes in our kids' bodies, what goes on our kids' children's bodies, and what's all around. But likewise, let me just speak to the moms for a few moments. Time does not permit me to go into a specific program for you. But again, go back to the person that invited you on today's call, because we have an online health assessment that can help you figure out where to get started for your health. So not only your children, but be happy moms with happy health for yourself. So 15 years later, the picture on the screen, my kids now. Well, my daughter, Lydia, age 22, she's a physical education and health teacher certified in the state of Indiana. She's also an athletic director. She loves the sports nutrition of the Shaklee products. My daughter, Hannah. My daughter, Hannah, has had some health challenges. Back when I first started with Shaklee, she didn't like the taste of the vitamins. I'm being real. They don't taste like Flintstone. They're not loaded with sugar. So this mom said, oh, okay, as long as 2 out of 3 kids are using the products, don't worry, Hannah. Well, that year that I started on Shaklee, she developed scarlet fever. And she was the only one in our family, because she was the one that not using the supplements. My other 2 were using it. She has since had health challenges possibly related to that, but she's now pumping her Shaklee, and she won't travel or go to college or do anything if she doesn't have her bag filled with Shaklee products. My son Josiah, he's an opera singer and a book editor. He loves these products, and in fact, he recently started on a health program to trim up a little bit, because going to college followed by graduate school, he was getting a little on the chunky side. Well, he's lost 30 pounds and he has well-defined abs now because of the Shaklee Sports Nutrition. So 15 years later, my kids are walking, talking testimonies how great these products are. So basically, are you ready to get started? Well, first of all, become a member. Become a member. It's like a BJ's or Sam's Club. It's a lifetime membership. Don't worry, you don't have to renew it every year. And in fact, we even have special programs that you can get free membership. In fact, if you order the Get Clean system, you can get a free membership, or if you order any of our packages. So ask the person who invited you about a free lifetime membership. Ask them also about saving 15% on your order. As a member, you'll be saving 15% on everything you order for the rest of your life. And don't forget to ask for your free copy of Raising Healthy Kids Today, just for attending today's health chat. So basically, I just wanted to, in the last 4 minutes, open it up with a chat room, that if anybody has any questions, just type it on in. I know that I couldn't go in depth into everything, but again, you're in good hands with Shaklee, and talk to the person that invited you. But I'd like to just open it up. If anybody has any chat questions, just type in the chat room and I'll see it on your screen. And next week, we're going to be talking about health for moms, from fatigued to fantastic, how to overcome that mid-afternoon slump. So anybody have any chat questions, type it on in. Okay, it looks good. So thank you everyone for coming today. Thank you